One of the many things that conservatives at the current time regarding impeachment that they're stereotyped for is that they cannot accept that Donald Trump is being impeached. Now, personally, I'm not a conservative; I'm more of a centrist. But even then, I do not like the idea of impeachment. Not because it's Donald Trump who is being impeached, but because of the way the Democrats are framing this so-called impeachment. For example, during the day of impeachment, when it came to the vote in the House, Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats were saying, "Oh, there's a very sad day. There's a very somber moment. This is very sad, very depressing, yada yada." Right? It was supposed to be sad, and yet on the same day, when Nancy Pelosi announces that now that the articles of impeachment have been approved, the Democrats cheer. Nancy Pelosi literally has to shut them up and I'm thinking, wow, such a very sad moment. And now it looks like the Democrats still can't seem to get it together and say, you know what? If we're going to pretend that this is a sad moment, at least let's carry on the lie. Well, that's one of the things that they always tell us growing up is that don't tell lies because then you have to live the lie. Well, Nancy Pelosi, again, she set up the pace of the whole impeachment thing. She set up the tone. It's supposed to be sad, it's supposed to be somber. But now they're being criticized again. Not only did Nancy Pelosi sign the impeachment articles, send them to the Senate with commemorative pens and handed them out as souvenirs, taking pictures and smiling, very sad moment, but also you have Kamala Harris being interviewed about the instance of, around the topic of impeachment, and it's very fascinating to see the Daily Wire and see Kamala and see MSNBC show very different interviews. Now, different in the sense that they show the same thing, but they don't show you the entire interview. For example, if I were to go to the MSNBC website, here I will show you the beginning of the video where they interview Kamala Harris. Now, I will try to show you just a little clip, just that way I don't get copyright struck by the mainstream media, in this case MSNBC. But this video starts off with Kamala Harris all serious, all right?
Through what the moments that you just experienced on the floor of the Senate and what the task is at hand.
I mean, there's
so again, right there, very serious, right? Very sad, very depressing,
serious
right?
moment. These are.
Okay.
Can you?
I'm gonna stop that right there, and I'll go back to it. She said very sad and solemn moment, right?
The moments that you just experienced on the floor of the Senate and what the task is at hand.
I mean, there's. This is a solemn, serious moment. These are.
Okay, those words, very sad and solemn. Okay. Now from the Daily Wire, this is from Ben Shapiro, so it might have his commentary in there. But his video is probably the only one where I could find the entire interview because Google is biased. They won't let me look up the entire video, and MSNBC can't be trusted because they literally doctored the entire interview. So in this case, you see the entire interview when they pan towards Kamala Harris, and you see how serious and solemn she is. Okay, let's watch.
Who is now with one of those senators, Casey?
Ari, thanks so much. We're here with Senator Kamala Harris, who,
right
of course,
there.
a former...
Again, I'll replay it again, just so you guys can see. Look at that face. Very sad, very serious, very solemn. Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't like the impeachment. Not because it's not because about defending Trump, but it's the matter that the Democrats are lying to us. That's why a lot of us are against it in the first place. That's why I'm against it. Because the Democrats say that this is serious, this is very sad. And you have AOC, you have Rashida Tlaib, you have Kamala Harris making faces like this during a very serious and solemn time. Very serious. Look at that face. Whenever I have a very serious moment, I make that smile. Whenever I hear that someone died, which is supposed to be a very serious moment, I make that gesture. That's the problem that I have with MSNBC. That's the problem that I have with the Democrats in general right now with this impeachment. They will tell you. Because again, look at the difference. Look at the difference. And I'll literally pan to the beginning of the video. Look, that's the very serious face of Kamala Harris. That's the doctor. That's pretty much the edited version of the end of the interview. And yet, in the actual entire interview, look at her making gestures and happy, being all smiling, right? About a very serious moment. That's why conservatives, that's why a lot of centrists, and not to mention a lot of liberals, not the leftists, but a lot of common sense liberals are starting to see the lies of the Democrats. That's why they're mad. That's why a lot of the people in the United States are very furious about the Democrats impeaching Trump because they say it's a very serious and solemn moment, yet they're making it out to be a show, a huge parade, some sort of celebration. So, from Town Hall, I'm going to read a little bit of this article, and after that I want to close up this video, and then we're going to see if we can find another subject to talk about. From Town Hall, it reads, GOP lawmakers slam Nancy Pelosi's golden pens, but Ted Cruz has the best response. Now, Ted Cruz is a senator from Texas. There's a picture of him. Despite House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's insistence that impeachment was a somber and sad event, again, that's the main problem we're talking about here, not whether or not Trump is being impeached. Her signing of the articles of impeachment Wednesday showed how serious she was about her past claims. As Beth reported, even CNN commentators called her out over the optics of her smiling, taking photographs, and handing out pens delivered on silver platters. Even CNN is calling out the nonsense of Nancy Pelosi and the acts of the Democrats. How is it even CNN is calling out this nonsense? We must be living in the Twilight Zone, because when CNN even calls out the nonsense of Nancy Pelosi's somber and sad event, or even signing the article of impeachment and celebrating like it's throwing out some sort of big party, it makes you wonder, are the Democrats really sad about this event? I will tell you this, they're not. Kamala Harris, look at her face. She's all happy about it. She's all happy. MSNBC won't show you the entire video because, it's MSNBC. They're much more left-leaning than CNN. They even called out CNN for being biased for Trump or whatever, or something like that. And I'm thinking, really? You're going to be attacking CNN out of all networks? But again, that's the face of a serious and somber event right there. Stephanie Grisham, I think you pronounce it. Nancy Pelosi's souvenir pen served up on silver platters to sign the sham articles of impeachment. She was so somber as she gave them away to people like prizes. Again, very serious, very somber, very sad. I thought that was a little jarring and certainly, I think, off message, said CNN's political senior reporter Nia Malika. I think it's pronounced Nia Malika. Republican lawmakers agreed. Representative Jody Heiss said the Speaker's engrossment ceremony proves that she cares more about politics than the truth. Glee, laughter, pictures, souvenir pens, a ceremony, and I couldn't agree more. When we literally start seeing Democrats, because this is right now, Democrats for some reason they keep messing up. The mainstream media is always on their side. They will always talk good things about them, but Nancy Pelosi and Democrats always find a way to make themselves look bad, even when they have the media on their side. It's supposed to be a very sad moment. It's supposed to be a very sad and depressing and somber and solemn moment. And yet, they're giving out pens like prizes. They're taking pictures. They're smiling. They're laughing. Even Kamala Harris literally is caught. Literally, she is caught smiling and joking around on a very serious event before she even knows that the camera is already recording. Okay? That's why a lot of people are pissed off. Is that the Democrats are lying to us, and they're saying that this is a very sad moment. We shouldn't have done this, but Trump gave us no choice. No, you didn't have any reason to impeach him. You didn't have any reason to impeach him, but you're doing it anyway. Why? Because of politics. That's the problem. Not to mention an election year. This is how serious and sad and somber Democrats were when sending their articles of impeachment to the Senate. And then, actually, I just read that on the tweet. So, anyways, Representative Steve Scalise, I think it's Scalise, commented that Democrats' behavior on Wednesday was unbelievable. So much for somber and solemn. House Dems are so excited about impeachment that they're passing out commemorative pens and grading for photos at a celebration ceremony. Unbelievable. Representative Mark Meadows said you can't make up what happened Wednesday during the signing. They claim it's a somber, serious occasion they're heartbroken over, and then they pass out impeachment signing pens with special cases. Folks, you can't make it up. And then you have another, Representative Paul Gosar, I think you Gosar, characterized it as another made-for-TV moment at the expense of our country. I agree. Who do you think paid for those pens? You think it was Nancy Pelosi out of her pocketbook? No, it was a taxpayer. I'm pretty sure it was a taxpayer who paid for those commemorative pens for a very sad and somber moment. And then from this tweet it reads, this is neither a somber nor it is a serious process for House Democrats. It's just another made-for-TV moment at the expense of our country. But Senator Ted Cruz had the best response, joking that crayons would have been more appropriate for Pelosi to use. You gotta love Ted Cruz. He's a very good comedian, not as funny as Trump, but he knows how to make jokes. Ted Cruz on his tweet says, given the circus in the House, I'm surprised she didn't use crayons. And then you have Nancy Pelosi signing. Speaking to Fox News on Wednesday, Cruz said the silver lining is that Pelosi's circus is done and that impeachment is in the Senate's hands, and I agree. The Senate, if anything, obviously the Democrats are criticizing the Republicans for being, you guys are being biased, you guys are being unfair, right? Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the Democrats were fair when they pushed for impeachment in the House. Like I said, you want to play dirty, we'll play dirty too. Because again, it's not a matter about playing dirty. Is that Nancy Pelosi stepping out of her boundaries? The House has the right to start impeachment, but the Senate controls all the conditions of the trial. Whether or not you want to say it's biased or whatever, that's a whole different issue. But even then, even if you are saying that it's biased, and even it might be, Why is it okay for Democrats to be extremely biased for when they push impeachment, and yet it's not okay when Republicans do the same thing, right? It's like saying it's like saying you're in a fight, and then your opponent pulls out a knife, right? And then you pull out your own knife, and then your opponent says that's not fair. You're pulling out a knife. In your mind, you're thinking, well, you pulled out a knife first. Why is it fair that I can use my knife but you can? See what I mean? Again, you want to play dirty? I wouldn't be surprised if Republicans play dirty too. Now, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good looking. But again, Democrats did this first. It's only fair that the Republicans in the Senate do the same thing. It's only fair. The good news is the partisan circus in the House is over. Nancy Pelosi's circus is done, and we're not going to see the one-sided show trial that the House has engaged in for months and months and months, he said. The farce is over. In the Senate, here's what I hope happens. I hope the Senate, and I'm confident the Senate will conduct a fair trial. That means we'll give the House managers an opportunity to present their case. And I respect that. I really hope that too. Let the Democrats make a fool of themselves. I really want that. If anything, I'm probably going to watch this trial over any other Democratic debates, to be honest. We'll listen to what they have to say. But then we're going to do something that the House didn't do, which is we're going to give the President Trump a full opportunity to defend himself, to present his case, to lay out the facts and evidence and law that the House ignored. And I agree. If in any instance, for example, it's like going to a court, and then you literally don't have the defendant you don't give the defendant the opportunity to defend themselves. Trump, I think he should have a right to speak. I really do. He should have the chance to present his opinion of what's going on, or not an opinion, but of his view on what's going on, of whether or not he did do this. I think that's fair. I mean, that's how court works. But Democrats, they don't like that. They want to take our opinion for facts, forget evidence, forget any of that, and then assume that our enemy is guilty. It's last time I checked, it's innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. Cruz said he believes President Trump will be acquitted. And so we've moved out of Nancy Pelosi's world, he continued. It's why she delayed this for so long. Because she knew that once the House no longer had it, that they wouldn't be able to put on a kangaroo court like they have. And instead, we're going to move in the Senate, where I hope and believe we're going to follow the law. And that means we're going to acquit the president. Again, I couldn't agree more with Ted Cruz. But like I said, whether or not you like Trump being impeached or not, that's not the issue here. The issue is that the atmosphere the Democrats want us to believe is very sad, very solemn, very somber, and yet their actions speak otherwise. When the Democrats clap and Nancy Pelosi has to shut them up when she announces that the first article of impeachment is approved, she has to shut them up. That's a very sad moment. When Kamala Harris is literally smiling and being all joy and happy, and then all of a sudden changing, and I'll actually turn off the volume on this. When she suddenly has to turn all sad and somber, even though she was just smiling seconds ago, on such an impeachment, right? On such a very serious event. Makes me wonder, are you guys serious about this? When Nancy Pelosi is handing out commemorative pens about impeachment and celebrating with them, handing out like souvenirs and then taking pictures and smiling, do you expect me to believe that you're very sad about this event? I'm sorry, but no. And that's the thing about social media. That's the beauty of it. That you can now look up these things and then you don't have to be misinformed anymore. But then even social media is starting to prop up these corporate media entities, because they know that if they don't prop up like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, if they don't push left-leaning ideologies on Facebook and Twitter, then they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. But again, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys believe Trump will be impeached? First of all, but do you guys also believe that it's a fair criticism to criticize the Democrats' solemn, sad, somber, whatever, impeachment thing, impeachment sham, I'm going to say, when they're smiling, handing out commemorative pens, literally Nancy Pelosi shutting her Democrats because they cheered on a very sad and serious occasion, right? Are you pissed off? Are you more pissed off about that instance, or are you more pissed off about Trump actually being impeached now? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe, you know the drill. Share the video, again, that helps out the most. YouTube is not going to prop me up like, something like corporate media entities like CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. So you sharing the video does help out a lot. And I'll see you guys next time.